from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart pants.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. And Mike, we finally got a beautiful day for baseball.
Well, Jeff, it's been a little bit cold for some of our broadcasts. We were cold at Dow Diamond, and we were cold a little bit over at Handy for the soccer game, but we got a great day for baseball and two very, very good baseball teams here today.
Well, it's a great rivalry, Central and Western, but I think before we get started, I want to flash back last week when we had a play that we thought was worthy of some special accolades. And our own Nick Page went back to the studio, put a nice little edited piece together with a great cover shot on it. We sent it to a place called ESPN, thinking there's an ever so slight chance that something good could come out of it, and I think we were right.
I'll tell you what, it was a great, great catch by that young man from Stanges Sterling, Lance Cameron. Did a great job, Jeff. Nick did a fantastic job getting that to ESPN Top 10, and it made number 5 in the ESPN Top 10 that night. And I'll tell you what a great throw for us to be able to send it to ESPN, and Nick doing a great job. But what a great throw for that young man to be on ESPN in the Top 10 and making number 5.
Well, he's been floating on air ever since it happened, and, it was just further evidence of what we're doing is all the right things.
Well, it was worthy of being on ESPN, Jeff, in the top 5. It was a great catch, and did a little showtime, showing the ball, got up and got back into the game, limped back into the dugout, but it was an awesome catch, one of the greatest plays I've seen in high school baseball ever.
Well, truly worthy of that top 10, and it's the first one that I've ever seen that I thought this has a legitimate chance, and it did not disappoint.
That kid was really focused. He gave up his body for that play, took it over that bench, over that fence, hung on to it, and I can still see those two young men out there in right field waiting for him to pop the ball up, and he did. It was just a great, great play. Congratulations to Lance Cameron.
That's our flashback of baseball, and now to the present. We've got Bay City Central and Western. First game was just a gem. 1-0 Western wins. Both pitchers just lights out.
Yeah, it was a great game. Cody Freed from the Western Warriors did a great job taking care of the bats of the Bay City Central Warriors. That got the Warriors up to 23-6 for an overall record, Jeff, and another great season by head coach Tim McDonald and his Warriors and his coaching staff.
This team had some ups and downs early in the season. They certainly are putting it together at the right time of the year.
Well, Jeff, and when you look at the early in the season, the weather was a big contributor. It was very cold. They lost a couple games. They tried to make some of those up. And that plays on you and wears on you. Weather like this, you got a nice little breeze. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Got a good crowd and a great rivalry.
On the other hand, for Bay City Central, you got a team that's played like champions in spots, struggled in others. So I think Coach Gib Garcia, the one word he wants from his team is consistency.
Yeah, and in the conversation we just had, his consistency, but consistently inconsistent is what his team's doing this year. They're 14-17 overall. They're high and low, and they just haven't really put it together this year. But they got game number 2 coming up against this great Warrior team, and this is two well-coached, disciplined teams as we saw in the first game.
And they'll play each other next week in the pre-district, and then Central hosts the district here. So If they're not familiar with each other over the last 10 years of playing against each other, it'll get even closer.
Well, we're going to see a lot of kids that we saw in the wintertime for the basketball season, Jeff. They're out doing their thing on the baseball field. Good coaching, good athletes, good baseball players. This is what it's all about, high school sports at its best right here on BCTV.
We'd like to thank Covenant Healthcare once again for being our all-season-long pregame sponsor. Oh, yes, we are excited. Back with all the action in just a minute right here on BCTV.
When you want to show someone you care, you go above and beyond. It can have an extraordinary effect on people. So when you care this much about your family, from the youngest to the oldest, you send them to the place that specializes in extraordinary care. Covenant Health Care.
I'll never let you down. I need you now.
We make families feel extra safe with a leading team of experts in the Great Lakes Bay region. We take the extra steps to deliver the most advanced technologies and training. We go the extra mile as you journey from diagnosis to recovery. We give families extra hope. Why do more people trust their families to Covenant Health Care? Because we've proven ourselves over time, across generations, and treat your family like you do, with extraordinary care, so you can continue to do so for generations to come.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Game 2 here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you, super statistician tonight, Natalie Doan. And we have got Nick Page producing, directing, camera, the man of many hats, doing it all today. What a great and gorgeous day for baseball. We're going to start out with Logan LaCourse as the first batter. This junior has seen a lot of baseball games in his young life.
Yeah, Logan has been around the baseball field a long time, Jeff. Very good athlete for the Western Warriors. Had him on the basketball team a few years ago when I was out at Western coaching with Coach Snover.
Anthony Bernard with that first pitch strike, a real slow curveball. Now he goes to the outside with a little bit faster pitch. Difference between tonight and last week, we don't actually get to see the speed, but we'll prognosticate from time to time the speed differentials. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. It's low, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Bernard and Spencer Maltrip will be the central battery for the second game of this doubleheader.
Really a beautiful evening here at the Central Field over here at McGregor Elementary, Jeff.
There's a high, long fly ball. It's carrying. It's up in the wind, and it's up against the fence. And on second base, missing the cutoff. Now with an opportunity to slide safely into third base. What a great start to the second game with Logan LaCourse. Riding one about 335 out there in left center field at the base of the fence.
Well, he got it up in that wind, Jeff. The wind is blowing from right to left on the TV screen, so it got up in the wind, and it went a long ways, hit at the base of the fence. Nice way to start for the Western Warriors.
Runner on third and nobody out. Top of the first inning. Western Warriors mounting one here early. Little slow breaking ball to Tyler David. Again, you're going to talk about these kids on both these teams, and both these squads have got kids that have played an extensive amount of baseball, and it's beautiful to see the quality of ball here in Bay City.
Well, and it's not just a spring summer sport anymore, Jeff. It's year round. You got your hitting clubs. You get to throw during the off season and stuff like that. So with baseball right now, year round, weightlifting, throwing, hitting. Baseball is really, really big here in beautiful Bay City.
Ball just inside, missing with his first 3 offerings is Bernard. Maltrip tried to frame that last one, but it got just a little bit too inside to be considered by our umpire. 3 balls and no strikes, runner at third, nobody out. There's a high strike on the outside, paints that black on the outside, letter high pitch, really tough for a left-hander to catch up. They like that ball down in the wheelhouse where they can whack at that thing around the knees.
He was going to take that one all the way, Jeff. It was 3-0. Nice pitch there by the pitcher for the Bay City Central Wolves. Bernard.
As it's 3-1. Wind up in the pitch. Ball is foul. I look like when I'm looking at this defense, short and second, they're going to give up the run. That first and third, they're playing in close enough that they can make a play at the plate or at least check the runner back. I doubt with nobody out that Coach McDonald would have him running on contact, LaCourse, from third base.
Early in the game, Jeff, probably going to play a little bit safe.
Boy, patience by David on that curve ball. The first run crosses the plate. And a nice RBI single. Patience. Had seen the curveball in a couple of previous pitch stayed back, kept his hands back, rolled through, and line drive up the middle.
Well, good patient hitting, good at bat for the Tyler David for the Western Warriors. Jeff, here in the top of the first, Bay City Western 1, Central not yet to bat. Big inning to start right now for the Western Warriors, Jeff.
Seth Gower, the batter. And Bay City Western, you know when they're on, their hitting shoes are there. Great pitch from Bernard for the first pitch, strike. Maltrip doing a tremendous job of framing that first pitch, gave the umpire all the time he needed to take a peek.
Yeah, we remember that young man from the basketball season. So he got a little savvy. He plays a little point guard, a little catcher, framing the ball. So, he's a savvy young man for a junior.
Look at the nice lead for Tyler David. Brings that throw over from first base, brings another one. When you got to go back in head first, then you know that you're getting a sufficient slide. And anytime your pitcher's spending a lot of time paying attention to first base, you know what could happen on the next offering to the plate.
We can see a little small ball here maybe too, Jeff. Oh, nice.
There's a hit.
Fought that one off real well.
Right field and just going to go to second base. Look at the arm from the outfielder. And that is Mansick. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Skyler.
He just threw a BB from right field exactly where he needs to. Your shortstop is in there as your cutoff position. And the Western Warriors don't look now, but they've got 3 batters to the plate. They've got to run across the plate and 2 runners on. Infield fly rule is now in effect.
Well, nice job by Seth Gower right there, Jeff, fighting off that pitch, taking it to opposite field. First and second, nobody out. 1-0 here early in the first inning for the Bay City Western Warriors. Good patient hitting so far by the Warriors.
They certainly have done everything that they've needed to do here in the first inning. And after that 1-0 game in the first inning that was all pitchers duel, I think the hitters are ready to spread it out here a little bit and kind of
they got a good
snack
between games. They're ready to go.
There's Bernard with another pitch, and look at right back up the middle. A nice soft line drive going right back through. And that ball back through, and when you miss the cutoff man,
yep.
What happens now is Nick Dardis kind of trots down to second base. That's where the importance of hitting that cutoff man is, and Dardis is going to come back, and he's going to have an opportunity to sit down as the pinch runner is going to be Noah Kohlberg, the junior. And now you got to wipe your arm. The infield fly rule is no longer in effect as our umpires make that nonverbal communication back and forth. Second and third, nobody out. 2-0 early on. Western just really having their way offensively to start this game.
Really, a lot different start to this game than the first game, Jeff.
Nice little pitch outside, off-speed offering. And, boy, I'll tell you, when you watched Freed in that first game throw that curveball, he would start that out at the back of the hitter, and that thing would cut across the plate. And that front leg of that batter every single time was just wanting to bail out because you want to protect what you've got. And the next thing you know, that front foot bails it, so you can't hit anything at that point. And, that thing tails across the plate. It's a helpless feeling.
Cody's a good pitcher for the Western Warriors, Jeff. Notice infielders are in. They're going to go to home plate. Try not to give up another run to the Warriors for the Bay City Central Wolves.
Cody Freed. Maybe chasing one there a little bit. Got anxious, knew on 2-0 he was going to get a pitch to hit. And it was a little high and tight, but he's still got 2 more offerings, and we know his capabilities with the bat.
Good baseball player.
Gets out in front of one a little bit, and he'll send that back over the hitting and pitching cage down in the left field line as it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes with a 2-0 count.
Do you get a free bag of popcorn if you bring that ball back?
Oh, I would say so. And 2 runners on base. I think we got 2s everywhere. If we were at Coryell, you'd have 20 of them chasing one ball. Looked like a bunch of seagulls going after a French fry, looking for that free corn. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
We had the air rats in early, Jeff, but they left because there's no food left over on the some of the grounds.
Yeah, they picked the grounds clean. You don't need to clean up after them. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. There's a right up over the top of us, another souvenir, and that's the reason why we decided not to park too close tonight, because there could be a few of those whistling as the night goes on.
Nick drove up that beautiful new car. As I said, brother, You better park a long way back because you won't have any windows at that. You stay right there.
Well, that is a beautiful mobile. That is for
Oh.
sure. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out once again. There's another bender.
Good
They pulled
patience.
infield. All Freed knew he needed to do was to put the bat on the ball. Nice job this time hitting the cutoff man. 2 runs across the plate. And I'm going to tell you what, Kohlberg barely touched the front corner of that plate. And I think at this point they need to have a little confab because with 5 batters to the plate, 4 runs in and a runner on first base, nobody out yet. Boy, I'll tell you, Western's got it on here. They got the hitting shoes on in the first inning.
Well, good patience hitting right there by Cody Freed, Jeff. He knew that he was saw that curveball coming, just waited on it, took the right path. Good bat, good hands, put it right between the third base and the shortstop. Did a nice job, drove in 2 runs, 4-0. Bay City Western up over the Wolves here in the top of the first inning.
And when you look at the risk and reward of having the infield in, Mike, there it cost you. But if it's hit at somebody, then you can hold the runner. You can get an out. So, again, a lot of things you do are based on percentages in this game. The percentages didn't work out for Gib Garcia and the club that time.
Nope, now they're back in the normal position, Jeff. Double play depth for the Bay City Central Wolves. Nobody out here in the top of the first.
Ball down low to the hitter number 17, Blake Plowdry, another junior. Oh, I'm going to tell you what. I knew before the end of the night that the VIPs would be up in the neighborhood. Morley Frazier in the neighborhood, and his hospitality is always very much appreciated here as he is one of the maestros.
Oh, we couldn't do without him. See, working concession stand. He probably chalked the field earlier in the day in your shirt and tie, right?
And he says this was an off day. He only had 8 tasks instead of the normal.
Well, you know that
task.
Marciniak, he works
He's
that
slave
staff
driver.
over there. They're tough. He's tough. He's tough to work for too, I hear.
Well, we got Plowdry just getting hit by a pitch, so that will put the first 6 on base for Western here in the second game. And again, the hitting shoes are on as they have got number 6 coming to the plate, and we do not have a number 6 here in the second game. I'm going to revert back to the JV roster and think that might be Carson Cooley is what I'm going to guesstimate. As let's just call it Carson Cooley till we can get confirmation. Ball a little bit high. As now a little chat with McDonald. Is he going to be thinking about a little small ball right
I don't
now?
know,
He might be going for the jugular here in the first inning.
Let's have a nice little chat about it. At least make the Wolves think about something, Jeff, when he went over there and talked.
It's
And,
either that or they're going – he missed a sign maybe on the first
Could
play,
have,
and he's
could
going to
have.
say, don't you remember that 40-second signal I gave you? That was right after the hot sign, and we're going to go with this play.
Pay attention, son. That's all I'm asking you to do right now.
Well, Central certainly thinks something's going on.
Yeah, you're right.
That ball is down the line, and look at it hugging the line. It's going
Wow,
to
what a
stay
great bunt.
fair. It looked like it was going to go foul, and it just hugged down the line.
Wow.
Maybe that extra chalk that Morley put on today didn't work too well in that situation.
Yeah.
Now, they said I look like him, too. I have that face for radio. So
What a great bunt. Who was that, number 6, Jeff, for the Warriors?
I think it's Carson Cooley. I think he's up from the JV squad. That's what I'm going to guesstimate. And now we've got young Andrew Snover, another junior.
Oh, yeah.
You know, both these clubs, Mike, as we looked, only 3 seniors each on both these clubs. They're going to have
Young
a lot
talent.
of veterans coming back. Nice. Little bender. Snover is obviously taking on the first pitch, or he was looking for the heat.
You know, Western basically Central's just got to get an out right here, Jeff. Maybe a double play and just kind of get something going here, positive on top of the first.
Right back at the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Boy, had a high heat, and he just couldn't catch up with it. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Great pitcher's count right now. He can come with just about anything. I think he goes outside with a little bender and seeing if he can paint the outside corner.
Infield drawn in again to get that ball to home plate if it's a hard hit to one of the infielders, Jeff.
There
Nice
is the
block.
bender. Look at the job by Moultrup to just go down there and smother that ball. Not going to give up anything cheap, and he caught that thing just off of the left blade and go, oh, well, it's padded. I said, well, you go down there and try and knock those things down. That thing is not wrestling mat wide. There isn't a lot of padding there. It might deflect a little bit, but
did a nice job keeping it in front of him, Jeff, and not letting it get behind him to score that extra run for the Warriors.
Trying to watch the infielders as they're all coming back in. Again, that bender from the outside, very predictable, just missed to the outside. But every one of these runners, look for them as that secondary lead as the windup and the pitch comes. And he's pitching definitely out of the stretch here with runners on the bases. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. 4-0 Western in the first inning. And there's a ball right back up the middle. It's got eyes. And it will bring home 1 run. And the second run crosses the plate as well. It's 6-0. The Western Warriors have just got it rolling here. And looks like Central's going to need to make a pitching change. But, you know, in fairness to their defense, a lot of those hits with the pulled-in infield could have been other opportunities if they're playing back. But, again, we talked earlier, it's a risk versus a reward, and you're trying to do what you can to keep that score down. But 6 runs in the first inning, and there to another out hasn't even occurred yet in this ball game.
Well, and it's been really good, patient hitting by the Western Warriors, Jeff. They put long counts, 3-2s, a lot of 3-1s, 3-2s, taking their time, waiting, holding back on those curveballs, getting the ball in play, putting a lot of runs here in the first inning.
And again, 6 runs scored, only 1 batter on base right now, but nobody out here in the first. So Bay City Central is going to definitely have a hole to dig out of in the second game. And when you look at this Western squad, Seth Chesla?
Seth Chesla, number 19. Another one of those underclassmen, Jeff, a junior for the Bay City Central Wolves, coming in to take the place of the Bernard, the pitcher. So we're 6-0 here in the first inning, Jeff, and just a great show of offense real early here for the Bay City Western Warriors.
Now, in watching Chesla, from what we've heard, he's a long, lanky drink of water. He doesn't throw the ball more than about 78, 79 at its best, but does a nice job of hiding the ball. So when that ball comes from back behind the hip after that nice long stride, it gets to the plate in a hurry. It seems to have an extra 4 or 5 miles an hour on it.
Yeah, he is a tall, lanky kid, like you said, Jeff. Got some good warm-ups when he was in the bullpen. He'll take a couple more. We'll get back to baseball. But, again, the Warriors up here 6-0, top of the first inning here at the Central Field here at McGregor Elementary School.
Boy, and you look back over the years with the way this field is materialized and what they've done with the field out at Western, and what a great utilization of space. You know, you had all this room over here at McGregor that wasn't going to be used and turned it into a beautiful complex.
Well, then they added those softball fields out there in right field and right center, Jeff. So you got the JV softball field, the varsity softball field. The varsity softball field has a press box and a concession stand. So, again, the Central High School Booster Club has done an outstanding job, and we can't thank them enough, and Coach Frazier and Mr. Marciniak and the whole staff over at Bay City Central for helping us out and letting us be part of their athletic seasons this year.
Indeed. All those folks, including the Booster Club, have been huge supporters. And did he offer on that first pitch? Yes, he did. He being Marcus Miller, one of the 3 seniors for Western. As again, Western looking to play small ball with a runner on first and second with nobody out. 6-0 in this first inning of the second half of the doubleheader. There's a nice dead and bunt, only 1 play to go, and that's to first base. And that play is a little bit wide. Coming off the base was Jacek doing a nice job to at least keep that ball from going into right field. But whenever you do a play like that, Gwiz, it's tough as a defense because everybody's on the move. Your second baseman's got to come over and cover first, so you're trying to hit a moving target.
Well, and he came a long ways too, Jeff. And so he, both the first baseman and third baseman coming in, Jacek had a long ways to run, just a little bit late. Bases loaded again for the Warriors.
And again, Central in as the batter is Logan LaCourse, batting for the second time here in the first inning.
Yep, they've gone around.
And again, a drop-dead gorgeous weather day, and the Western Warriors are taking full advantage of that with a strike one count now on the course. Again, with his second opportunity in the first inning to hit. Not often in any level of baseball do you get to hit twice in the same inning. And LaCourse just a little bit out in front of that inside offering. He just couldn't wait on it. Pulled those hands in and yanked it a little bit foul, but he put a pretty good swing on that.
Well, I had a nice conversation with Grandma and Grandpa before the game out to watch Logan in the Western stand. So proud Grandma and Grandpa watching their grandson today, Jeff.
Well, and Father Troy there too. Uh-oh, you know what this is? Nope. Is it a fair ball? It's a foul ball, and Moulthrop could not get it. If it's a fair ball, then it's infield fly rule.
Yes, yep.
So that's what the umpire was looking for, and that ball stayed foul, so new life for the batter number 14, Logan LaCourse.
Well, and again, the wind played a little bit of havoc with that, Jeff. Moulthrop had it first, and it kind of just blew back over to his left towards the third base side, so he just couldn't come away with it. 0-2 on the count for the Warriors for LaCourse.
Chesla with the pitch.
Woo!
Right
Look out.
Down that left field line and foul by inches.
Woo!
And I'm telling you, Carson Cooley over
Whoa.
there had to do the giddy up to get out of the way. He says, man, are you upset with me?
I don't think he'd be doing that dance at the prom or something one of these nights.
He may have been practicing
Woo.
at the prom. And there's another good two-strike emergency swing. Just take that emergency hack, foul it off, and live for another pitch. And
they ran out of baseball, so they're trying to find another one. Here comes in from the central dugout.
You got to worry because there's something on that ball.
Could be some butter.
It's a Gaylord Perry's out here, or Necro. It is, again, no ball and two-strike count. Bases juiced. Nobody out in the first inning. And nice job, LaCourse. Just lays off a pitch. It's outside and just a little bit low. Moulthrop doing a nice job of smothering that ball.
Yeah, he's earning his money tonight, Jeff. Spencer's doing a nice job. Some pitches in the dirt, doing a nice job blocking it, keeping the ball in front of him. 1-2.
And there we go. Infield fly rule. As the batter will automatically be out, and that is the first out of the first inning. Now with one out, of course, you know the infield fly rule is still in effect until there's two outs. Or there's no longer a situation where there's runners at first, second, or the bases are full.
I'm learning. You know, I've learned a lot from you over the years. I'm taking good notes. I hope you pass me.
Ditto, because I've sat back with my notepad out more than a time or two. Oh, there's a long fly ball from Tyler David, and that'll be down the right field line. And that is going to score a run from third base. Look at the throw coming out there from Manzak.
The young man's got a gun out there in right field.
So that's good baseball. Your runner from first will go back. Your runner from second tags goes to third. Your runner from third goes home. Two down, so the infield fly rule would not be in effect. They're going to roll that hand over their left hand forearm. And you just saw it. The infield fly rule is no longer in effect. Two down, 7-0.
Big.
Western on top here in the first.
Boy, big inning for the Western Warriors starting game number 2, Jeff.
Looking at David, he looks like he might be on the move here. He's got a little antsiness, and there is the base hit from Seth Grauer. And they'll have runners on first and second. Again, another run crosses the plate, and that time it was Andrew Snover. As they've got the base-running merry-go-round going here in the first inning.
Up to bat for the Western Warriors is number 13, the starting catcher, the sophomore Nick Dardis. Jeff saw him play a little bit of varsity basketball this winter for the Warriors. Coach Scott Keyser, now he's up on the varsity for Coach McDonald playing a little catcher.
He's another great athlete. Right down the line, and that will score at least another run. Nice job in left field by Justin Morse. Play at third, not in time. Trail runner going to second base. 9-0 in the first inning. as the Warriors have just unleashed an offensive explosion here in the first.
Well, and this is what when we were talking to Coach Garcia before the game, Jeff, this is what he was talking about. There was just, one game they would be playing very, very well, and then the next game things just didn't go so well for the Wolves. So, but again, there's a lot of baseball to be played. 9-0 here in the top of the first for the Western Warriors.
Boy, Western just is squaring up most everything they're hitting here in the first inning, and they don't have balls dribbling through. Some of them have gotten through a pulled-in infield, but they're still hit hard, and they're heading to the outfield with a little bit of steam.
And some real good bunts, too, Jeff. Put them down the line and put them in the right spots when they bunt the baseball.
Outside to number 12, Cody Freed. Again, we watched Cody's mastery in that first game, and he can hit a little bit, too.
He had a nice single in the his first time around, Jeff. This is the second time around for Cody. We've got 2 outs, top of the first inning. Bay City Western 9, Wolves waiting yet to come to bat.
I wouldn't say that Chesla is pitching around Freed, but he just throws a strike there on 3-0. But you really don't lose much with 2 outs loading the base because you put the force at any base again. So I would be surprised if he gives him anything juicy to hit here, but we'll find out in a minute. And there's a little dribbler, and that's kind of a tweener. Freed's got some speed going to first. Yachek with a great play and a nice scoop at first base by Shoemaker. And that'll do it for the first inning. 9 runs for the Western Warriors in that first inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning and keep it right here as we stick to it on BCTV. We're going to have just enough of an opportunity where we got to write down all the defensive alignment here for the Western Warriors. All right, we got Nick Dardis behind the plate, and we have got Gower at third. We're talking out loud here. That's just a beautiful thing. As the officials are talking about that first inning, too, and they're saying, oh, my, did you see that merry-go-round that was going on?
Yeah, Cody Freed at first.
As you will continue to see, looks like maybe they might have LaCourse out on the mound. I'm trying to wait and pick up a number as he'll turn his back to us.
Andrew Snover is at shortstop, Jeff, number 5. I know the young ladies want up here and get some music rocking in this. So we'll get them next inning. We'll get some music playing.
That's what they were pointing for.
Oh, yeah, that's what they got to play some music.
We're going to do some more commercials because I know you got some great music planned, and we don't want to stymie your abilities. So we'll start cutting away at some of these half innings for you as well as we continue on here. But we're going to have to check and see what the mercy rule is because I don't know if in the olden day it was 20 after 3, 15 after 4, and 10 after 5. So we'll have to see. 15 after 3.
I tell you what, that young lady.
Abby Newsham.
A plethora of knowledge.
And it runs in the family. She taught her grandmother everything she knows. Just a great family, certainly.
Oh, yes.
And one of Natalie Doan's favorites as well. So it's great to see here in the first inning that the Western Warriors make it happen. Now Central's got to come back with an answer.
Randall out in right field, number 8, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if the Wolves can put a little run streak together for themselves, Jeff, here in the bottom of the first. 9-0, Bay City Western up over the Central Wolves.
Logan LaCourse on the mound, and a lot of these kids are great for me to see too, Mike, because I watch these kids, a lot of them through JJK and Hoop back in the day with TJ Newsham, and it was so much fun watching them. You could see the young talent that was out there, and in your years at Western, you watched some of the younger-aged groups of athletes coming, and there's talent coming up.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice talent on both of these teams, Jeff, but I think one of the most important things, we've got some nice young men out there that are just good off the field as they are on the field.
Great representatives of this game, as Dylan Beffrey certainly not going to swing away at a 3-0 count when you're trying to dig out of a 9-0 hole. So very patient. I wouldn't be shocked if he takes this pitch as well, forcing LaCourse to come back down the middle. And he comes high with another pitch. So LaCourse trying to throw that ball a little hard early on. He's just coming with the heat, not coming with a lot of off-speed stuff. So he's got to get that arm to catch back up with his body as he brings that across the mound and bring that ball down a little bit. as we have got one on and nobody out for Central. Again, trying to answer that 9-0 deficit from the first inning. Nice adjustment as that ball is up into short right field, a high, lazy fly ball. And that is out number 1 for the Central Wolves here in the first inning.
Out in center field for number 2, Jeff Marcus Miller, and that was number 8, Adam Randall, with the catch off the bat of Malthrop. 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the first for the Bay City Central Wolves.
Up to bat, Skylar Mansek, as he'll try and get something happen. That ball just inside. Of course, just kind of looking for that right arm slot here in the first inning, but we know he's got all the ability to make it happen. Turn around with a little token toss to first base. That's not their pickoff move, but that's one of those little I know you're there. Yes.
Keep you honest. I'm not forgetting about you. I know you're over there, so I'm going to just toss it over there for a little giggle.
As he takes a long time. There's a high chopper at first base. They'll take the sure out for out number 2, as that was freed at first base. And boy, I'll tell you what, when you're an infielder and you're waiting for that high one-hop chopper to come down to you, it can be an eternity. But he was patient. He did the right thing, took the sure out right in front of us, stepped on the bag. No play at second base anyway, 2 outs. Runner on second base for Bay City Central here in the bottom of the first.
Jeff, just to note, 17, Blake Plowdry is a left fielder for the Western Warriors.
All right, thank you. That ball just low.
Ooh, that was close. That was close. Good umpiring crew again tonight. Jeff doing a great job, did a fine job in a very tight 1-0 win in the first game for the Bay City Western Warriors.
Boy, I'll tell you, Hayden Yachek, the freshman, gets to play up on the varsity level, and he just has a soft shot into right field and does a nice job with getting that ball to go, and he'll get an RBI out of it and overthrowing the catcher, and now going to second base is young Mr. Yachek. And I'll tell you, when you've got a freshman that can beat out the juniors and seniors to not only make the squad but start at second base, you know you've got a great talent. He went with an outside pitch, didn't try to pull it, flipped it out into right field, got the base hit, and an errant throw from Randall as he had just a little too much heat on the ball. Went right up over the top of the catcher, Nick Dardis, and to the fence, allowing Yachek to go to second base.
Well, and that's the way the wind's coming in, Jeff, from right field. So when it's hit the right field, the wind is actually knocking the ball down. They're playing really, really short in right field and a lot deeper in left field because the wind's blowing out the left.
Justin Morse, the second, is the batter. And that ball on the inside, Yachek thought about going. Dardis doing a nice job of knocking that ball down and didn't travel too far away from him. And Yachek has got to be certain that he can get the next base before he takes off.
They're down 9-1, Jeff. You have to play smart, disciplined baseball, try to get yourself back in this baseball game.
1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. There's a little chopper foul. Ooh, picking up the short hop over there.
Seth Gower,
I'll tell you, nice job.
Yeah.
Even if it's a foul ball, that's good practice.
Pretty.
Backhand that.
Look good.
A little Castellanos over there. As it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Yachek at second base. Trying to garnish a secondary lead. Ball down in the dirt. Dardis does a nice job of smothering that ball again, keeping it out in front of him.
Yeah, both catchers doing a nice job, Jeff, tonight when the ball's in the dirt, getting low, keeping the ball in front of them, not getting by them, and not letting the runners advance. You got 2 very good catchers tonight for both squads.
Indeed, they are very talented individuals, multi-sports athletes. And we have got a timeout. Batter in the batter's box says, I just need a second. Judson Morse.
Oh, nice catch.
Nope, they ruled it a no catch.
Okay.
And what great positioning by the base umpire. He turns, he takes about 2 or 3 steps, and he gets the best angle he can. He saw greenage before that ball went into the glove.
I thought he caught it, but He's a lot closer than I am, but a nice effort by the center fielder for the Western Warriors, Jeff, Marcus Miller, number 2.
Well, and a nice job that time, too, by Jacek. Knowing with 2 outs you're off on the crack, you don't have to wait to see if it's caught. He got a good jump and easily scored. There's a little soft line drive. Look at the outfielder, Randall, chasing it down at the end of 1. It's 9-2, Western over Central. Back in a minute here on BCTV. The Times Lofts in downtown Bay City is the area's newest and finest apartment living with units that meet your every need, including stainless steel appliances. With prices starting at $850, there is something for everyone. To receive further information and find your dream loft, call us at 989-893-2000 or visit us on our website at thetimeslofts.com. Ooh, fading out of Here Comes the Sun. Wonderfully done. Jeff Toad and Mike Wasdalov, glad to have you along here on BCTV. 9-2 Western all over Central after 1.
Well, it's nice to get 2 in the books there, Jeff, for the Central Wolves. They're right back in this thing, kind of. They got a little bit of a hill to climb, but nice to have 2 runs.
And I'll tell you what, a rocket to left field by Blake Plowdry. And the ball just carried out to the left fielder for Central, Justin Morse, as he ended up making a great catch. He came in a couple of steps, and that thing just about sailed over his head.
Well, yeah,
that's
that wind.
On it.
That wind is tough. That wind is blowing straight out the left field, right to right field corner to left field corner, Jeff. And you get it up in the air, it's going to go a ways.
Connor Poyer, the new pitcher for Bay City Central, too, in the top of the second inning. Poyer comes with a little bit low on his second offering, 2 balls and no strikes. He's been around the plate on both of those offerings, but not able to come up with that strike yet. And that was a curveball that just didn't have any bite on it.
Got a new catcher, too, Jeff, number 10. Isaac Murphy is the new catcher for the Bay City Central Wolves.
Look at you all over those changes. On a 3-0 count, taken all the way is, I'm going to believe that's Carson Cooley. That's who we're going to go with in this game, and I'll get confirmation in between innings. And there's ball 4 is another patient at bat that you talked about earlier, Mike. Western taking what Central gives them.
Well, you know what? In the scouting reports, you play these guys enough. They probably played earlier out at Western, and they know these kids very well. And Coach McDonald says, take your time, be patient, hit the good pitch. Let it come to you, and we'll come out of here with some positive notes here in the top of the second inning.
Man, you've been inside Coach McDonald's playbook, I think. First pitch strike to number 5, Andrew Snover. Again, when you're down in the bottom half of that lineup and you getting an opportunity to hit for the second time in the second inning, you know your offense is clicking. Out of the stretch.
Nice job.
Jacek at second, had no play to go to second base, gobbled it up, took his time, a nice flip over to first base, and there are 2 outs in the second inning as Poyer's been able to get the first couple outs for Western without any offensive damage.
Nice job by Andrew Snover. The hit and run was on, Jeff. Kept him out of the double play right there. Another opportunity to score a run even with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning.
Ball just a little bit low. Heading down to third base is Cooley.
Up to bat, Jeff, excuse me. Number 2 for the Western Warriors, Marcus Miller, senior outfielder for Coach McDonald's squad.
Now that player's on third, that really changes what your catcher's got to do. They've got to make certain that they smother it. The pitcher's got to make sure that that ball doesn't get too much dirt. So you really change the complexions of things with a runner on third base.
I'll talk about something that I just remembered here and after this pitch, Jeff. Let's go back to our Dow Diamond days, those 2 games we did there. Look at the difference between behind the plate area here and what we had at Dow Diamond. Very short here, so if you're going to go home on a pass ball, you better get there. This is a very, very short backstop.
It is a big difference indeed. 3 balls and 1 strike, but the biggest thing for a catcher when there's a pass ball, he's got to flip his mask off and locate the ball.
Sure.
He gets a lot of help, but, there's a lot of people chirping and trying to surmise who's got what for information. Oh, there's a lazy fly ball into right field, just off the edge of the glove. And now here's the throw to second base, and in safely at second base as the Western Warriors score run number 10. Now, Mike, what would happen if that guy gets thrown out at second base? Does that run count?
I'm going to ask you.
What happens in those situations are when that last out is scored, if the run crosses the plate before the runner is out, then it counts. That's why you will see them as soon as they make that play. They're spinning to look at home plate to see if that run crossed the plate first. So very important when you're legging it out from second or third base.
I was just waiting to see if you knew that.
You confirmed my suspicions. So there's a little 101 in the ball game.
Well, it's coming all back to me. It's been a long time since we played a little baseball, but you made a great point there, Jeff. And the referees, they've got a job out there during the game. They've got to be in the right spot, and they got to know what's going on and see what's going on. There's only 2 of them. There's not 4 like in pro baseball.
And the umpires certainly position themselves. With that runner on second base, you will find the base umpire over on the third base side. There's a line drive to center field, right straight to the center fielder, and that is Dylan Beffrey. And at the end of 1.5, it's 10-2. We'll take a break so that Abby Newsham can play a little music. Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV Sports and your #1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs. Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you, super statistician Natalie Doan, director, producer, cameraman extraordinaire Nick Page. As it's 10-2 right now, Central trying to make something happen here in the second inning as Seth Chesla.
Wow, he's a big fella.
Is the first batter, and he is built very thick in the lower bodies. He got that good drive on the ball as he fouled off the first pitch just a touch tardy on that first swing. And a ball down in the dirt. Nice eye by Mr. Chesla. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Keep looking down to Coach Garcia down on third base, and he's not giving any signs. Says, we got to hit the ball, fellas.
Yep, no sign means make it happen.
Yeah.
As Logan LaCourse just throws a fastball about 81, 82 miles an hour. A little foul tip on the plate.
You got the mental jugs gun going on tonight.
I got my Mother Jugs and speed gun going tonight. So
ooh, that's old school.
Flashback for you.
I think that was Burt Reynolds, wasn't it?
Well, we just heard the Archies with a little sugar in the between innings. So we've been all over the place here as, of course, with a little bit high on that delivery. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, 10-2. Western on top over Central. And there's a fly ball. Tagging it right down in its tracks is Mr. Miller. He took a couple of steps back, which it's a lot easier to come in than go back. Watch the wind just knock that down a little bit. Cruised comfortably under the ball and sucked it up.
Yeah, Marcus has played a lot of baseball in his day too, Jeff, and he knows that center field better than anybody, and he's been out there a while. So nice job by Marcus Miller. Out number 1, bottom of the second for the Bay City Central Wolves.
Isaac Murphy, the new catcher for Central, number 20, and Nicholas Birdsall is the batter. Caught the wrong number, thought I was looking at a 10, as plate needs to be cleaned off. And boy, nice rain yesterday too, knocked a lot of the dust out of the air. This is a much nicer playing field when it's not blowing up dust. There's another foul ball, very strongly hit off the bat of Birdsall, but just a touch tardy on it again, and that is 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, with the windup in the pitch, high, hard heat. Birdsall just couldn't catch up to it.
Logan doing a nice job tonight, Jeff. Nice pace, taking his time, and really, really delivering a really nice-looking ball tonight. Right there on the outside corner, strike number 3 against Nicholas Birdsall.
You know, you look at LaCourse, and the thing that impresses me is the great balance that he has on the mound. And you can tell by watching him that his body is very, very balanced and under control, much like Freed's was in the first game for the Western Warriors. They've done a lot of work with those kids.
Those 2 young men have spent a lot of time working on their craft, Jeff.
And LaCourse with the pitch to number 9, Schumacher. And Schumacher's only a sophomore. Mason Fetter Schumacher. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Oh, that's Garrett Glish, number 9.
Oh. See, they can keep me honest up here when I'm got the wrong one. That's beautiful.
Well, when these 2 young ladies they see these guys every day and they go to school with them. They don't need numbers like we do.
Well, they had that thing crunched up in the back, and I thought for sure I was looking at an 8, but they'll keep me straight here. Right up over the top, right close to Nick's car, so we hope that one's all right as it goes back. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here. 10-2, Western on top in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, Garrett had a real nice play in the first game, Jeff, from his shortstop position. Saw his dad, talked to his dad earlier today. A lot of familiar faces. We haven't been to a Central baseball game, at least I haven't, for many, many moons, and it's good to see a lot of familiar faces in the concession stand and the coaches and the athletic directors and everybody sitting up in the stands. A lot of fun.
Yep, this is definitely great to be back home for us, and after many years of traveling the road doing games, to be back in town doing games is just a thing of beauty. We couldn't be happier.
It is. It's been a great labor of love so far, Jeff, and bigger and better things are coming for BCTV. We going to have a great fall, winter, and spring schedule next year. Looking forward to it, and nice to be back home.
No balls and 2 strikes. The course waves off the first sign, wants to go with the heat on the outside corner, and that might have been a brush length wide. That was close. And right down the middle again, and it's strike 3 as he goes up under the hands. And at the end of 2 innings of play, it's 10-2, Western over Central. Back in a minute here on BCTV. This presentation of high school sports on Bay County TV is brought to you in part by Renew Physical Therapy, with 7 convenient locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, including Au Gres, Bay City, Frankenmuth, Freeland, Midland, Saginaw, and Shields. At Renew Physical Therapy, there is a difference. Back here for the top of the 3rd inning, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. 10-2, Western on top. To the batter's box is Tyler David. Tyler with a little dribbler, and that's kind of a tweener, and they're going to call it a foul ball off David's foot.
Ooh, right off the Tootsies. Shake that baby off. But I'll tell you what, if you never had that done to you, that stings.
I don't miss that a bit from baseball. It only happened to me a very small amount of times, but it only has to happen once before you do not forget.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, that is a different kind of pain when that ball hits you on the shins or on the toes, Jeff.
Ball down low.
Tyler going to shake it off, take his second pitch.
He's awful glad to have a couple of pitches in a row out of the strike zone so that he can get the feeling back in that foot, though. As it's 2-1 with that second pitch outside. Poyer did a very nice job. He came in, and I kind of call him the fire extinguisher. He kind of put the fire out for Western in that offense after they erupted for 9 big ones in the first inning. And there's one to first base and gobbled up by Schumacher. And it is 1 up and 1 down here in the top of the 3rd inning as the Western Warriors flexed their muscles mightily in the first quarter and have slowed it down here as they got a run in the 2nd inning. And now they've got 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 3rd for Seth Gower.
Yeah, Jeff, they put 9 up on the top of the 1st, did the Western Warriors, 1 in the 2nd, 10-2 here in the top of the 3rd. And that bat, number 7, Seth Gower, Jeff, and again, he had a very nice game in his first game against the Wolves in that 1-0 win over the Wolves for the Western Warriors.
Yep, it was a very entertaining game and a little bit different than the way the second game started off. Nice play at short. Look at the quick exchange as that ball came from Glish at shortstop, and he got rid of it in a big hurry.
He did a nice job. Got it out of his glove fairly quickly, got over to first base. Gower gets down the line really well for the Western Warriors. And up number 13, the catcher, sophomore Nick Dardis.
Yeah, just like the way he went from glove to hand to transition to releasing that ball.
You know, they're taking their time. You know, Jeff, they're not hurrying this thing. They know they got time. Inflicted over there in time to get the out. Nice job by that young man, number 9, the sophomore Garrett Glish.
As Poyer is, again, done a tremendous job on the mound, just brings that change of pace onto the mound and really mixed his pitches well, found his location, and they haven't hit a lot of balls hard off of him.
Nope.
Just a little bit high, 2 balls and no strikes. Poyer kind of looked in, wanted that one, but just a little bit high. You know, you're not dealing with a 6'5" batter here. And I'm going to tell you, a line drive. It's up. It is gone over the fence.
Nick.
That thing got up into the jet stream, and Nicholas Dardis, touch 'em all, young man.
I see you, Nick.
Holy cow. That was a thunderstruck shot. I knew that he hit that well, but boy, that got up in the jet stream, and that thing went a long way.
He hit it a long way over that fence. That's the 325 down the line, Jeff, in left field here at the Central Baseball Field, and he got it up there in that wind, and he put it out there for a ride. But he hit it really well, too, so that I think that was going to be gone anyway. He jacked that thing. Nice job by Nick Dardis.
All right, Poyer ready to pitch, but they were sending the ball in from the outfield, so time was called at the last second. Poyer ready to go now. He's into the windup and the pitch. Right on the outside corner.
Question is, Nick gets a home run whenever the one home run I hit, Mom bought me something. I wonder what Mom and Dad Nick's going to get tonight. Maybe
it isn't his first.
Burger, yeah. I had one my whole career. That tells you how bad I was.
Well, that would be worthy of celebration.
Well,
but, you know, they're still excited when he hits it because you don't hit one every day. But that young man has hit more than one.
He's going to get some special treat from Mom and Dad tonight.
Well, we'll make certain of it.
For us, it was the Dairy Queen. Remember the Dairy Queen on Center Avenue?
The DQ. It was Scrumpdilicious.
No, Dairy Isle is what it was called.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Dairy Isle, where the Pizza Hut is now. That's a long time ago, my friend.
Blast from the past. Up to bat is Blake Plowdry, as he'll be on base with 2 down and a runner on first base.
Oh, that was close.
Gets back into first base. That time, Fried going back into first base kind of had to, he stuck when he hit the ground a little bit. There's a delayed steal. He's going down to second base. A beautiful slide off of the back of the base. Jacek turned to tag him, and the ball was there in time, but it was on the inside, and by the time he spun around, superb job of going around the tag and safely into second baseman. Hook that base with your hand and hang on for dear life.
Yep, nice job by Cody Fried to get that delayed steal, Jeff. Nobody out, 2 outs, here in the bottom of the, top of the 4th inning.
Nope,
third
top
inning.
Of the third.
I'm sorry,
yep.
3rd inning.
As the Bay City Central Wolves again are finding themselves down 11-2 in this ball game, with Fried on second base. 1 ball, no strike count, and another pass ball. And Fried says, "I'm going to wisely not go." When that ball goes this way, your catcher's got about 15 or 20 feet closer than if it's a wide pitch to this side. If he's got that extra 15 feet to throw, then it makes a difference of a couple of steps on going to third base. 3 ball, no strike count. Typical hold pitch, and that's ball 4, just a little skosh low.
Good eye.
And that will bring up Carson Cooley, number 6. For the Western Warriors.
11-2, Jeff. Top of the 3rd, 1 run scored this inning. Big home run by Nick Dardis for the Warriors over the left field fence. 2 outs.
A little bit high. Boyer trying to make that adjustment. The first couple of pitches of the last bat were down low, so he changes the release point and just a touch high. Now there's a little dribbler down the third baseline off his foot again. Foul ball. Whenever that ball's hit, first thing you want to do is look at the home plate umpire. He'll throw those arms up in the air, and that'll kill the play. And they've got a lot to do behind the plate, you know. And those years behind the plate, you got to check to see if it's a ball or if it's a strike. You got to look down to make sure that the batter's still in the box when he's swinging, that he's not stepping on the plate, that the ball doesn't go off him. And if it does, is he in the box or out of the box? Other than that, there's nothing cooking on the pitch.
And plus another thing that I saw happen in the first game and in the second game, Jeff, the umpires, when a player hits it off his foot or the catcher gets hit, something like that, they take their time, give the player ample opportunity to recover, making sure he's all right, which is very important. Nice job by these umpires today. When a kid gets hit or gets hurt, they just take their time and make sure they're all right to get back into the game.
2-ball, 2-strike count to Carson Cooley. Good secondary lead, and there's a little dribbler into right field, just a little Texas League blooper. And we have got another run coming to the plate, and now have runners on first and third. And it's 12-2 now. Western is picking up those hitting shoes again.
Yep. They put their hitting shoes on here in game number 2, Jeff. 12-2, top of the third inning, the Western Warriors over the Bay City Central Wolves.
Well, you've got Andrew Snover up again for the third time in 3 innings, which means they've almost gone through their entire batting lineup 3 times in this game in 3 innings. That's unheard of.
Nice lineage right here for Andrew Snover. Dad's one of the assistant coaches for the Western Warriors.
Foul ball as he's just out in front of the first offering.
Good to see Coach Snover. Haven't seen him in a while, so spent a little time with him 2 winters ago, and good to see him again and his family, everybody doing well.
Indeed, and remembering that his great-grandfather here, well, Snoopy's dad, as it was Snuff Snover, who was a great man from the Times for many years, just passed about the last year. But what a great asset for athletics in the Bay City area that Snuff Snover was in the day.
Yeah, well, Smokey was he was the man at the Bay City Times.
As another ball just misses. And Poyer right now is really trying to nibble. He doesn't want to give him anything too good to hit, but he's got to throw strikes. So that is a real problem. You've got to get that ball across the plate. Snover looking for a good pitch to hit. And he's got a ball that's kind of in between the outfielders. Shading his eyes, making a beautiful catch out there, Justin Morse. And that'll do it for the top of the third inning. It's 12-2. Bay City Central down by 10, coming to bat in the bottom of the third. Back in a minute here on BCTV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine.
Back here on BCTV is Adam Randall will be the new pitcher for Western as Nick. He produces, he directs, he cameramans, and he also points out, hey, look, we got a new pitcher out there. So
he makes the big bucks.
So these peeps don't have to catch it. That ball just inside, backing off from that first offering was Dylan Beffrey.
Nice job by Logan LaCourse, the starting pitcher, Jeff, for the Western Warriors. Did a nice job for 2.5 innings. Really good placement, took his time, good patience, did a nice job for the Warriors.
And there's a foul ball, and that had a little heat on it as it's heading back to somebody's car.
I think that made some cars.
And again, you can throw, as I talked to Mike Freed, 115 pitches in a day, but then you've got to have either 3 or 4 days rest before you can throw again. So it's a modified form of Little League, and so obviously the way LaCourse was throwing, they might just be saving him for another outing this week and save some of his pitches. As Beffrey hits a high pop fly that could bring down rain, brought in by the second baseman.
Number 6.
That is Randall. And we got some other changes. New first baseman, Brendan Galliner, and he's in replace of Freed.
Yeah, number 6 for the Warriors, Jeff. Carson is over on second base, made that catch on that pop-up.
That ball up in the air. It's a tweener. Nice job. The center fielder surrounds that ball, gets it back into Cooley at second base. And with one out, Central has themselves a base runner, the first base runner of the third inning. Down by 10, got to be really smart on the base, Pat. Cannot afford to be caught taking the extra base.
Yep, down 12-2 like that, Jeff. You got to take advantage of every opportunity you could get here in the bottom of the third for the Bay City Central Wolves.
Taking his time is Randall, and taking too much time as Cody Poyer says, I'm going to back out of here and regroup. Nice move to first base that time by Adam Randall.
We've got new third baseman, Jeff. Nick Dardis has moved out from behind the plate. He's playing third base now.
So we'll have to take a peek and see who that new catcher is. Tough to tell when they've got that gear on and the crisscross goes right over the numbers. Foul ball down the first baseline.
Alex Snyder, the new first baseman. I think we mentioned his name. We'll try to get these numbers to everybody with a bunch of wholesale changes. I think Plowdry's out in center field for Marcus Miller.
Ryan Miller. Oh, what a great pitch. Painting the outside corner. Adam Randall hit the catcher's glove. Just stick the glove out there and bingo, right on the spot. As the center fielder is Plowdry now. Back in the hole, took a little short hop. And Central trying to mount a little rally here with one out in the bottom of the third inning, down 12-2.
Hard hit ball to the shortstop, Andrew Snover. Just skipped underneath his glove. Coach McDonald says, we need to have a chat, fellas, and he'll sashay out to the mound to talk to his squad.
Little confab, as they say. Little conversation. So as we look out on the mound, and I think we'll get a chance maybe to, as he has a real short conversation, I was going to say we'll peek at some of the crowd here, but we'll take an opportunity and take care of some of that in our next opportunity. As Randall has to work himself out of a little jam right now with 2 on and 1 out, down 12-2. Bay City Central trying to make some noise. Hayden Jacek, the fabulous freshman, up with an opportunity to make something happen. Randall out of the stretch. Nice job by the catcher smothering the ball. And again, trying to see what that young man that's catching's number is, and I can't quite make a note.
Is it number 16? It looks like a 6. I'm not sure. So
just inside, 2-0. He tried to come high and tight. That ball's really tough for a right-hander to catch up to. But a nice hitter's count right now, 2 balls and no strikes. And that ball comes low and outside. As now 3 balls and no strikes. As Randall's having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Hayden Jacek is almost certain to be taken here on 3-0. They need base runners. Yep. He looks like he's ready to tattoo it, though, and that ball is just a little bit low and outside. Again, 4 pitches and a walk. And if he doesn't find the strike zone, he may be looking at his last batter right now. They may go to the pen and try and make stuff happen. And there's nobody out there throwing right now, but Can't give Central an opportunity if you're Western to get back in. If you're Central, you're saying, hey, now I'm one big hit away from getting the merry-go-round going here and seeing if we can't get back into this one. There's a great pitch. Boy, it goes right back. Let's not do anything finesse. Let's just rear back and let it fly.
Boy, that had a little bit of heat on it, Jeff, at the plate. Number 3, Judson Morse the second.
Judson Morse. Yeah,
Judson,
yes, I apologize for calling him Justin, so we'll give him a little extra love as I try and get my peeps working here. And Judson Morse up to bat right now with an opportunity to make some noise for Bay City Central and get them back into this ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Up the windup of the pitch, it's a little bit outside again. As he just looks like he's aiming just a little bit from the mound.
Little overthrow right there, Jeff. And I think that's what Coach McDonald went out and said to his squad. Come on, fellas, let's settle down a little bit. Let's take care of business. We're up 12-2. Let's just get this thing over with.
Right on the inside corner again. When you're throwing at the high school level, and the way these kids crowd the plate, if you can play the inside third of the plate, it's tough to barrel that ball up. There's a high foul ball. Will that stay in the field of play? Looks like it's got a chance. And it's caught for the second out of the inning. As Judson just didn't have an opportunity to make it happen. Again, the wind played a factor there. On a normal day, that's going to blow out. I think the wind caught that enough that it kept it in play and did not allow Judson Morse another swing at bat.
Nice job by number 18, Alex Snyder, the first baseman for the Warriors, Jeff, staying with that tough ball up there in the wind.
Well, they're saying strike 1 as the batter for Bay City Central is Mason Fetter Schumacher. Schumacher now, it's his job to try and find a hole someplace and get a base hit. We've got timeout as Schumacher backs out. Defensively, you got to make certain that you're communicating. We got to force out at any base. We just have to get the ball to the closest base and make the easy out. Schumacher with a swing and a miss. Randall rears back and lets one fly there. No balls and 2 strikes. Now as a pitcher, do you attack? I say he's probably going to come with a fastball on the inside third and try and tie him up.
Let's see what the pitcher does for the Warriors. Jeff, going to bring it.
High heat.
Yep.
And at the end of the third inning of play, it's Western 12 and Central 2. Back in a minute here on BCTV.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV sports and your #1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs.
Back here at the start of the 4th inning, I think Taylor Pop is going to be the new addition for the Western team, the freshman. That's what I'm going to guess. As I have got the JV roster, and he is that number, so unless they did a little number switcheroo on us at the last second, Pop goes right back from where it came from on the first pitch. And the freshman finds himself with a nice 2-hopper right back through the box into center field.
It's a nice way to get up on the varsity, Jeff. Get a hit against your old rival right up the pitcher's box, right over second base. Nice job.
Noah Kohlberg up right now for Western for the first time in this game as well. Right on the outside corner, nice off-speed pitch. Kohlberg was looking for the heat and was just a little bit off tempo on that ball. 1 ball's in 1 strike. And again, it made the nice adjustment after the first pitch. He got 2 in a row, and the second pitch stayed back with his hands and just kind of launched it into right field for the base hit. 2 on and nobody out. The Western offensive machine just continues in this game.
Going to make a little change here, Jeff.
Adam Randall.
And that is, we were wondering who the catcher was, Jeff. It is number 16, as I thought. The junior Ryan Miller is the new catcher, and he is on deck for the Western Warriors.
As that ball is low, a very nice job by Bay City Central's catcher Isaac Murphy. Smothering that ball. Boy, you want to keep the force and the double play alive, and if that ball gets away and runners get to second and third, takes it all out of the equation. Out of the stretch. Pitch just a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes, and boy, those 2-0, 3-1 counts as a batter, you just sit back at the plate and froth looking for your pitch in just about the size of a pie plate zone.
It's like a watermelon coming up.
If it's there, you do that to it. There's a high, long fly ball, and the wind catches it, but it's back just shy of the warning track. A nice play by the left fielder from Bay City Central. Boy, when that left his bat, that looked like it had a chance to get up in the jet stream and really make some noise.
Yeah, it sounded good leaving his bat, Jeff, but easy fly. Out number 1 for the Western Warriors at the plate, this junior catcher, number 16, Ryan Miller.
Miller's got just a slight choke up, so he's not going to be going for the home run here. He's just going for a line drive base hit someplace. As Bay City Western has put together quite the inning here. As they've got 9 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 thus far through 3. And there's another ball sitting back on the off-speed offering and out into left field. I believe Justin Morse with the catch out there. I don't know if they made a last inning change, couldn't tell. But he's been busy on the last 2 solidly hit balls from the Western Warriors.
Yep, up to the plate, number 15, Brandon Brown, another junior for the Western Warriors. Jeff, top of the 4th inning, we got 12-2, the Bay City Western Warriors over the Bay City Central Wolves. 2 outs here in the inning.
2 on and 2 out. As Poyer trying to work himself out of trouble. As that ball again, Poyer's really starting to offer with a little bit more off-speed stuff. And Western on the first pitch seems to be a little bit out in front of it on the stride. And on that second pitch, they make a nice adjustment. They've hit the ball hard the last 2 times.
Yeah, Poyer's done a nice job, Jeff, except for that first inning. You look at, they take away that 9-inning run in the first inning. We got ourselves a ball game. So Poyer's come in, settled this team down, done a nice job, kind of handcuffed the Warriors a little bit, even though Nick Dardis sent one over the left field fence about 350 feet.
Yeah, I think he's got a new nickname, the Fire Extinguisher, because Western was on fire in the first inning, and he came in the second inning and had an opportunity to just kind of put the flames out a little bit. The third pitcher for Central in this game.
He's done a fantastic job settling the Wolves down and really settling the hitting of the Western Warriors.
Yeah, Bernard started, Chesla the second pitcher, and Poyer came in and has really done, other than Dardis, really hasn't given much up.
Yeah, done a nice job. Nice job. Another nice stop by number 10, Isaac Murphy, the catcher. Jeff, the senior, had some great catching going on tonight by both squads.
And there's ball 4. The bases are loaded. For number 18 coming up, Alex Snyder, another junior. Boy, you look at only 3 seniors on this team, but it is loaded with juniors. And then you put the smattering of young Nick Dardis as a 10th grader and Adam Randall. So you've got a ton of juniors, a couple of sophomores, and only 3 seniors. Great first pitch from Poyer. Snyder looked like he was taken all the way.
Well, Cody Freed, Jacob Zettel, and Marcus Miller, Jeff, are the only seniors on this Western Warrior team. So you got a good nucleus coming back next year. Some good JV players up right now playing some varsity ball. So the cupboard will be very full next year for Coach Tim McDonald and his staff.
Well, I tell you, it's going to be tough to replace Freed, though, the way he threw in that first game. He is on track with what's going on, and he's got some college offers. We'll know in the next couple of weeks which one he's going to call home at his next stop, but he definitely will be playing at the next level.
Well, the good coaching staffs, both squads, Jeff, have very good coaches. Gib Garcia, Eric Diebel as an assistant, John Yachek, and Sam Ramirez. And over on the other side, Tim McDonald as the head coach, Brian Patrick, Dan Snover, and Tyler Provo. So really 2 good quality staffs here coaching these young men.
Poyer on the 3-1, paints the inside corner. Wow. And Snyder was taken all the way. And now with 3-2, is it going to be a hit? Is it going to be a walk? Or is it going to be out number 3? We'll find out. The runners are on the move. And there's the ball hit to third base. Only one play with a flick to first base. Just getting the foot down in time to end the rally. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it's 12-2, Western over Central. We'll be right back.
The Times Lofts in downtown Bay City is the area's newest and finest apartment living with units that meet your every need, including stainless steel appliances. With prices starting at $850, there is something for everyone. To receive further information and find your dream loft, call us at 989-893-2000 or visit us on our website at thetimeslofts.com.
Back here for the start of the bottom of the fourth inning. As Bay City Central, again, down 12-2, really has to make something happen this inning.
Yep.
They're running out of outs. As Randall throws that first pitch. It's a little bit high. Bay City Central batter, both of these teams have substituted freely. As the batter is number 19, Seth Chesla. Oh,
you talk about big.
Man, when we have got the most golden of pens in the house right now, one of our all-time favorites.
Hall of Famer.
Yes, indeed. I
Hall
forgot
of Famer.
about that.
Yes.
Lee Thompson in the booth with us right now, and a gorgeous day for baseball. And the Bay City Central Wolves lose 1-0, Lee, in that first ball game. But, boy, the second game with a 9 spot, the Western Warriors made a huge statement in that first part of the second game. Swing and a miss by Chesla. And that makes the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Had a great hitter's count. Had a good rip at a fastball. Just couldn't find it. Right back down the middle he comes with an offering. Just gets a piece of it. Keeping the count full.
Like the way number 8, Adam Randall, Jeff, the sophomore, came in and has done a nice job up on the mound for the Bay City Western Warriors.
There's a ball. It's a very soft one, Hopper. Nice job by the second baseman for the Western Warriors to gobble it up. That's number 15, Brandon Brown, one of the plethora of juniors on this Western Warrior club. 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 12-2, Bay City Western. But again, you talked earlier, Mike. You take away that 9 spot in the first inning, and we got ourselves quite the close ball game.
Yeah, they did a nice job getting out of the blocks. Jeff did the Western Warriors, putting up 9 in the first inning.
Down the left field line, the ball's going to be about 6 foot foul. Tried to be chased down by Dylan Beffrey. He'll come back with an 0-1 count.
Nope, Noah Kohlberg, Jeff. Noah Kohlberg of the Western Warriors ran a long ways. Good hustle to try to get that just a little bit out of his reach. 0-1 on the Bay City Central Wolves batter, Chesla.
Off-speed offering. This one down the line, and it is foul by about a foot or less. Much better offering. As the Kohlberg had an opportunity to get to that one too, and it just went outside his reach. So not being fooled by any of the first two is Nick Birdsall, as he's had a couple of good rips.
Yep. My mistake was not Chesla, it was Nicholas Birdsall, a sophomore, Jeff, up on the varsity for Coach Garcia and his Wolves.
No ball, 2 strike count.
Good pitch.
Just tried to get him to chase on the outside. A purpose pitch, as they say. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Again, 1 down, bottom of the fourth inning. Randall to the windup and the pitch. Right to first base. Nice high hop, gobbled up by number 18, Alex Snyder. And he takes it unassisted for out number 2. Boy, you like it when you get that high hop right up in the chest, because you can just kind of engulf it and pick it up and head to first base. No need for Randall to come over from the pitcher's mound. 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
Alex has had a nice game tonight playing first base for the Western Warriors, Jeff.
Just a little bit low from Randall. Randall's really getting into a groove here, you can tell, in this last inning. He was a little sporadic the inning before, but
they loaded the bases last inning, did the Wolves. And, Coach McDonald came out and had a little chat with the fellas, kind of calmed them down, got out of that inning, didn't give up a run. So, like you said, I think he's in his comfort zone right now here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Garrett Gliz, the shortstop, is the 10th grader, is looking at a count of 0-1 with 2 down. Getting an opportunity to play. Again, you got to love it when the sophomores are able to have the talent to play on the varsity level. Just on the outside corner, painting the black, is Randall. And we've got a no ball, 2 strike count. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes as they update the board. Stepping out for just a minute is Glitz. He's all set for the Randall offering. Looking like they want to go to the outside. That ball is down in the dirt as Ryan Miller tries to engulf it.
Yeah, Garrett Glish really had a nice game in the first game, Jeff, from his shortstop position, and has had a really nice game here in game number 2 for the Central Wolves.
Just overmatched on that fastball, and that will be out number 3. We've played 4 innings. It's 12-2, Western over Central. Back for the 5th in just a minute here on BCTV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back here for the top of the 5th inning, Jeff Doan and Mike Guazdala along with you. Natalie Doan, our super statistician, and produced, directed, and filmed by none other than Mr. Page.
The master, as we like to call him in the biz.
Yes, indeed. He has done a masterful job all year long, and we couldn't be happier with his efforts. As we have got a new pitcher, and that is Schumacher for Bay City Central, and the batter is Blake Plowdry. As we have got a situation where Western up by 10 runs, and there is strike number 3. Down the line to first base and beating out the ball that bounced away from the catcher, Isaac Murphy. So very heads-up play by Plowdry to run down the base and beat the throw to first. And that will go as a strikeout, E2. So runner on first, nobody out. And that was a ball that didn't do what it was supposed to do, high and tight, catching number 6. That's Carson Cooley having to dippy-do out of the way. And a little bit low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. As Schumacher looks to find a little groove here in the top of the 5th inning. There's a chopper. This one's got double play written on it. Out at second and at first base. Not quite in time. Nice job getting down the first baseline to just beat that relay throw. Wasn't quite hit hard enough for the tailor-made.
Yep.
But a nice turnover and a nice job at second base to try and get that double play. But
Garrett Glish does a nice job out there for the Wolves, Jeff. The sophomore shortstop really gets it out of his glove quickly, flicks it over there. Tough on the double play, but got the sure. Get one for sure, too, if you can.
Well, he's just smooth. And, whenever you're smooth and you can get that transition out of your glove. And, you got to realize the other thing is you're throwing to a moving target. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to set that thing on the base and you let the second baseman run to the ball.
Well, and you got to put it in a good spot because he's got to turn around and get it to first base. So, they got the one out, which they needed, which is what you got to do. Get the first one, and if you get the double, great. If not, live for another day.
Hayden Yachek is the new first baseman now for Bay City Central. The parents got to love that when you got a kid that might play infield, he's got a certain glove. Outfield, he's got a certain glove. Oh, we'll let you play a little first base, too, and you got 3 gloves.
There's one to the second baseman. A nice little flip. Get the lead runner at second. Just a half step short at first again. Is a nice job by Andrew Snover to get down the baseline and beat out that double play. But, again, great footwork at second base for Central. Get the ball. Get yourself squared up position to throw to that Glish at shortstop to try and get the second half of the double play. And both times just a step short.
Yeah, just tap that base a little bit with your toe, Jeff, and flick it over to first base. Does a nice job. And also got Cody Poyer did a nice job for the Bay City Central Wolves on the mound, Jeff, for a couple innings. Number 11, the junior pitcher, liked the way he pitched and really handcuffed the Western Warriors for a few innings.
Boy, look at the bend on that ball from Schumacher. That one had probably 7-8 inches of dip on it. And that had the Western batter bailing out of the box, and he went, oh, no, it's too late. As the ball is tipped into left field by number 4, Taylor Pop. Taylor's 2 for 2 in this ball game since he came in. So nice opportunity for that young man to get a couple at-bats and come up with 2 nice hits.
Always nice to get the young kids out playing up at the varsity level, Jeff. At the plate right now for the Western Warriors, the junior number 1, Noah Kahlberg.
He's got an opportunity with 2 on and 2 out. Schumacher delivers just a little bit high on the first offering. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, looking at that secondary lead at second base as they're looking to score on any ball that's hit out of the infield. And again,
another one.
That ball with the super bend in it. Schumacher really's got that thing working here in this inning, as that's got some serious bite to it.
Coming inside. Oh, threw it right down the middle.
Outside third of the plate. A nice pitch to hit. And I think he was still thinking about that bender to pitch before.
I thought he was coming inside the way the catcher was, Murphy was setting up.
So that ball just misses inside. Schumacher's really pulling the string on that curveball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out and 2 on. The 2s are wild here in the 5th inning.
12-2.
And there is a great strike 3 pitch by Schumacher. At the end of the 4.5 innings, it's 12-2. Central needs to score, or this one's in the books. We'll take a break and be back after this on BCTV.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV sports and your number 1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs.
Back here for the bottom of the 5th, and it's a little journey. Born and raised in South Detroit. Everybody knows the words. They're all singers when that goes on. So start of the bottom of the 5th inning. Bay City Central sends to the plate Dylan Beffrey. As Adam Randall still on the mound here for the bottom of the 5th. Little lazy fly pop ball, and that's going to go out of play. Fall harmlessly just over the fence. 1 ball and 1 strike to Beffrey. Again, here in the bottom of the 5th, the 10-run rule limit is in effect here for the bottom of the 5th inning, so it's up to Central to at least put 1 on the board to extend this game.
I think a fan from College Town caught that ball, Jeff.
Well, that's a thing of beauty, man. He came all the way from College Town to get that. That's way over there on Green Street.
Yeah, I just, College Town's a nice little neighborhood over there.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Beffrey tried to sail one on the inside third, and Miller couldn't lasso that one in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 12-2. Central's got to make some noise to stay in this ball game. Just low. Nice job by Miller just framing that ball.
Oh, yeah.
Giving the home plate umpire a little extra time to look at it. He goes, nope, you confirm my suspicions. It was just low. And that ball's just inside.
These catchers for both these squads have done a great job blocking the plate, blocking those low balls, and framing up. Got a little gumption to them, every one of them.
And the batter now is going to be Isaac Murphy.
catcher.
Done a nice job behind the plate as a receiver. Now let's see what he can do offensively in this game. Again, just low. Looks like Randall's trying to be a little cute out there right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think he's just trying to be just a little too particular instead of just rearing back and throwing strikes and trusting his D.
There you go.
And that was up at the top of the zone.
What was the mileage on that one?
Oh, that was a 79er.
Whoa, didn't break that 80, but he's close.
He's right in the neighborhood, so.
The mental jugs gun.
The mother jugs and speed gun in my eyes has another off-speed pitch. Randall just has Isaac Murphy tied up. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 5th. As Randall takes a peek at first, comes home just a little bit outside. But again, a great spot and location for that. Hoping he could get Isaac Murphy to chase.
Wow, that was close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Will Murphy be able to make contact here? He does. Thwarts off strike 3 with a nice solid foul off of the screen.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bay City Central 12 and the Bay City Central Wolves 2.
Oh, my goodness here. We got the Golden Pen of the Times giving us all sorts of information. And at first base, safe at first base. You can't run to first on a 3rd strike when there's somebody already obtaining that base. So the Golden Pen of the Bay City Times just say that Mount Pleasant just lost to Heritage in Game 1, and if Western wins, they're tied for the SVL. So if we can get Mount Pleasant to lose to Heritage for the second one, then we might have Western back in first place all by themselves. So, again, Western didn't start the season off super strong. But, boy, as you mentioned, Mike, once the weather started warming up, they've really found their groove.
Well, after this big win, that gets them to 24-6. If they win this game, gets them to 25-6. Jeff, overall, not quite sure what they're doing in the Valley, but if they win tonight and everything falls right, they're going to be Saginaw Valley League champions. And not an unfamiliar place for Coach McDonald and the Warriors.
Well, and you're going to be in pre-districts back here next week at a place that you're very familiar with playing. And, frankly, when you look at it, they've had a lot of success here at Bay City Central.
They have had a lot of success and a great place to hold a district tournament.
3 ball, no strike count right now. 1 down. Just a little bit outside and a walk to Cody Poyer. That's going to bring up to bat Hayden Jacek. Hayden's going to have an opportunity here to get a base hit and score a run with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Again, 12-2, Western is on top as they're trying to put Central away. Central trying to make some noise on their home field as we're just starting to see the start of dusk. And it's another ball down in the dirt, and Miller's really had to work hard to keep that ball in front of him in the last inning.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job, Jeff, blocking the plate. You know, a tough position. Those catchers get beat up pretty much every game.
There's a ball to second base. There's the turn for 1, and the scoop cannot be made. And scampering home with the run is Dylan Beffrey. That means we play on.
Yep.
As it's 12-3 right now with 2 outs, and the Central batter is Judson, not to be confused with Justin Morse.
You don't want to do that again. You already got yelled at once tonight.
I know. There's a nice lazy fly ball out into center field, and that is swarmed up at the end of 5 innings of play. It's 12-3. We play on here in just a minute on BCTV.
This presentation of high school sports on Bay County TV is brought to you in part by Renew Physical Therapy, with 7 convenient locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, including Au Gres, Bay City, Frankenmuth, Freeland, Midland, Saginaw, and Shields. At Renew Physical Therapy, there is a difference.
Back for the top of the 6th inning, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Super statistician is Natalie Doan. And playing all the music down there is Abby Newsham.
The entertainment director.
I want to tell you what, Morley Frazier picked a good one,
Oh,
as she
yeah.
has played quite the plethora of music. Foul ball right back hot at the screen. And that was off the bat of Adam Randall, the Western pitcher. No ball and 1 strike count here in the top of the 6th inning. Taking his time and going with the pitch to right field. A nice soft liner into right field, and Randall gets the opportunity to put the Western Warriors offense back on the move here at the top of the 6th inning.
Nice job by Randall fighting that pitch off. Jeff saw a lot of good hitting tonight. Pitchers or hitters going with the pitch, taking it to the opposite field.
Ryan Miller, the junior catcher, is up right now. Boy, and he finds a hold of the left side with another solid shot. And that ball gets away from the left fielder. And cruising around third base and scoring will be Randall. No throw coming as he kind of cruises around third base and comes home to score, making it 13-3 again. That ball took a bad hop out there in left field and went right up over the shoulder of the outfielder and was allowed the hitter to get to second base. And the error, I think they'll give that an E7 for that run scored.
Coach McDonald's got his kids back hitting the baseball again, Jeff, just like they did pretty much all game. But that first inning, that was a clinic by the Western Warriors. 13-3, top of the 6th inning for Bay City Western with the lead.
Nobody out, runner at second base. No ball and 1 strike count. There's a lazy pop fly that looks like it's going to just get out of play again. No ball, 2 strike count.
Young man over there was having a good time, then was not paying attention. Couple on top of the game dads went over there just to make sure that young man was not hit by that foul ball.
That would wreck an otherwise beautiful day here at the ballpark.
They're all over it. They're all over it.
Yep, that's what the super dads are all about. Here's the ball to short. And that ball will be flipped to first, not in time. As a great job of hustling that ball out was Brandon Brown.
Run him out.
And that's why you run everything
right.
out. And when it gets bobbled by Glish down there, that was just enough time to beat it out. And now runners at first and third for Alex Snyder, another junior in this lineup.
It's a nice game tonight for the Bay City Western Warriors.
There's a little pop fly, and that looks like it's going to find an eyeball out in the outfield, and that will score another run. It is 14-3. Western on top. They got their hitting shoes back on quiz this inning.
Yep.
And with nobody out and 2 runners on, they're looking for more.
Yeah, they're 9 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 here in the top of the 6th, Jeff. Looks like 14-3 to me. Western with the big lead over the Wolves here in game number 2.
I'm going to tell you, Coach, that's some serious ciphering going on. Uh-oh, what do we got going on now?
Balk.
Ooh, it's funny because that's usually you'll hear 15 or 20 people in the stands yell, balk, balk, and then, hey, I was right this time. I've been wrong the last 200 times, but, hey, I was right this time. Pitcher went to throw to first base. Nobody covered. At that point, what you got to do is you just got to throw a lazy ball over to the first baseman with some form of continuous motion to make that happen. So when you don't do that, now you load the bases with ball 4, and you've got yourself a situation where Western's looking to put some more runs on the board here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, we heard a lot of that over at Dow Diamond when we did those 2 games, Jeff. There we go, right up the middle.
Just out of the outstretched reach of number 4, Hayden Jacek, who's back at second base after an inning at first base. As Western's just got the hit parade going here in the second game.
At bat right now for the Western Warriors, number 5, Andrew Snover, the junior. He's been pretty much all over, Jeff. He's at third base. He started a little bit at shortstop, moved all over the infield, did Andrew, for the Western Warriors.
That curveball's just a little bit outside from Judson Morse, the second. Just a little lazy foul ball that's going to fall harmlessly behind the plate. Going to be tossed back into play. And Judson, not to be confused with Justin, back to the mound here with a ball and a strike.
You're never going to live that one down,
I
brother.
know.
You're going to get it when you go home tonight.
Well, the peepers fail me from time to time. That ball over the plate, but just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike here in the top of the 6th, 15-3. Western all over Central here in the second half of the doubleheader. And, Mike, that first game was just a gem to watch as Freed just threw an unbelievable ball game. And 2 balls and 2 strikes as Snover might have gone outside the strike zone to get that last ball.
Yeah, a little bit different competition here in the second game, Jeff. 18 runs total in this game, only one run total in game number 1, which the Warriors won 1-0.
Yeah, Mansek Freed put on a clinic in that first game. Between the two of them, they were very unhittable in that first game. Both teams had some opportunities, couldn't make the most of them. Western scored when it counted. And there is a bases-loaded walk for Snover. And again, you've talked about it many times tonight, Coach. Patience at the bat.
Yeah, patience by these Western Warriors, and that'll get them another run, and that'll get it up to 15-3.
I'd like to thank Morley Frazier again for his hospitality. It's always a pleasure to have a man of his stature in the house and all the great things he does for athletics here in the Bay City area.
Yeah, Morley's been around a long time, Jeff. It's been close to 30-plus years that Morley's been at Bay City Central, and really a nice gentleman. We appreciate all his efforts for helping with us.
Boy, there's another little Texas leaguer.
Fought it off.
In the right center, and that's exactly, you get it on the hands and you fight it off and you send it where you can. And the merry-go-round for Western continues with a 3-spot in this inning, and Mike, bases loaded, still nobody out.
Yeah, this is kind of a repeat of inning number 1 for the Western Warriors. This is just exactly what they did in that first inning when they put 9 up on the Bay City Central Wolves. Nice.
Ooh.
Judson
again.
String.
Just absolutely has that Duncan yo-yo on a string, and the batter's bailing. And that's when you got to be a little bit worried because Noah Kohlberg says, hey, I hung tight on that first one, and then the second one, it looks like it's going to be a curveball, and then it comes up here and it's tickling my whiskers. 2 balls and 1 strike again, bases juiced, nobody out. Just low and to the outside. 3 balls and 1 strike, so Kohlberg right now knows he's in a great hitter's count.
This is what hitters dream of right here, Jeff. 3-1.
And again, they take that outside third pitch, and they serve it up into right field. Not trying to do anything fancy with it. Take it the way that it's coming and just serve it up.
They are just a smart hitting baseball team, Jeff. Just going with it, taking it all over the field. You know, you saw Nick Dardis hit that long home run a few innings ago. Not afraid to go to right field, up the middle. They're just spreading the ball all over the place tonight.
And again, still nobody out in this inning. It's Judson Morse back to the plate, and a hit off the elbow, it sounded like.
Yep.
And the batter was number 8, Adam Randall, and he's going to go to first base too. And I think Morse tried to get the string pulled on that thing too, and it just sat up there and spun. Didn't quite take what he needed. And looks like we've got Brother Garcia coming out, and he's going to have a chat with Morse. Will he make a pitching change?
I think he's going to. Nope, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody. There's nobody out in the bullpen, so we'll see what Coach Garcia's got up his sleeves.
Maybe just trying to slow the game down.
Yeah.
Nope, they're going to make a change.
Yep.
And they're going to go back to Schumacher. Or is it number 9? Oh,
Garrett Glish.
Glish is going to get an opportunity now. And, you look at these players and you go, wow, and they're plugging him in. Well, I can guarantee you that 3/4 of the kids on these teams pitched in Little League. It isn't like you're going to throw somebody out there that's never pitched before. These kids at the lower levels have all come up, and they have all been stars on their teams through the Little League time and through some ponies, and now they're getting up with an opportunity in high school. So, they're certainly no stranger to throwing strikes up there.
No, Garrett's a very good baseball player. Jeff done a nice job out there at shortstop tonight, and Coach Garcia says, Garrett, we're going to put you up on the mound, give you a little chance, see what you can do tonight. 17-3. See you, Lee. The big lead for the Bay City Western Warriors over the Wolves here in the in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, Bay City Western just continues to make a statement in this ball game, Mike. After they make a thunderous statement in the first inning to score 9 runs, then they calm down with just 1-2-0-0. But, boy, at the top of the 6th inning, they've got a 5 spot out, and all of this has happened with still nobody out. Very reminiscent of the first inning.
And that's what they did in the first inning, too, Jeff. They scored all those 9 runs. A lot of those runs were scored with nobody out. They went around at least once around the batting order. And they have hit the ball all over the field tonight. Very patient, very good hitting squad, taking their time and really just putting it everywhere on the baseball field.
The thing that's most impressed me, Mike, with the hitters is when that ball's on the outside third, they don't try and do anything special with it. They'll serve it up in the right field, and ball down low. And Glish's number one job right now is he's got to throw strikes. You cannot afford to just walk people and make it happen. So Glish has really got to find a way to throw strikes and hope that his defense can make some plays.
Yeah, and there another run coming in on the wild pitch by Glish, Jeff. That makes the score here in the top of the 6th, 18-3 for the Warriors over the Wolves.
Up to bat again, Ryan Miller, the junior catcher. Still nobody out here in the 6th inning as the Warriors are trying to match their 9 spot from the first inning. And Garrett Glitch trying to make something happen here as it's 3-0. And another ball, and that's going to reload the bases. There he goes. He just aimed one, send it right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. I think that's what he's got to do.
Yeah.
He's just got to stick with his fastball and put it up there and say, hey, I hope my defense can make some plays. And there's a Miller gets hit by a ball, and that'll reload the bases.
Coming up to bat now for the Western Warriors, Jeff, number 15. That is Brandon Brown, another junior for Coach McDonald's Western Warriors.
Boy, this is a junior-dominated team. And now Glish just kind of aiming the ball a little bit. And the batters, you're really not, as a batter, you're not ready to dig in because he's been inside, he's been outside, and you really don't know what to expect. Nice job by the umpire with a great strike on the outside black of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a base hit to left field. 1 run scores. They'll hold up the other. And, oh, yes, we've got Garrett's mom, I presume, down there. And she was dancing to the music earlier in the game. And now she's trying to get some videos of Garrett out on the mound. And she's hoping for some highlights.
Yep. Don't have that big old thing sitting on your shoulder anymore, Jeff. You just whip out the iPhone and away you go.
Better than a camcorder, that's for sure. Yes.
Oh, man.
Boy, we remember those
VHS tapes. These kids up here looking at us going,
the VHS
what are you
would go in the
talking
VCR,
about?
and you would have instant fun. As the ball is fouled, and that was how it started back in the day with the old Bay 3 TV. We had those big old
those tape decks.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep. We would get the VHS tape, put it in the VCR, and we'd have game.
Off we went.
So for you younger folks, you only know iPhoneage.
Gee, I was talking to some of the kids up here. I said, well, we got an electric typewriter when I was taking typing class. We thought that was high tech.
And it was. And another base hit from Alex Snyder. As a nice job by Bay City Western as they're putting an 8 spot on the board here in this 6th inning. And they just continue to take it to Bay City Central. And a lot of these are not cheap hits.
No.
These are kids that are swatting the ball. And, you know, in the game, in all intent purposes, Mike is done. But you can't tell these kids to stop playing.
No, absolutely not.
You know, they're going to have an opportunity to get through this. And, you know, it's starting to get a little dusky outside, so, you know, it's a good thing that first game didn't go long. As there's another ball. Will that find eyes? That's in right center field. And a nice diving catch by the center fielder from Central. And still a nice job by number 16, Ryan Miller, to tag up from third. Another runner advances. And look what you got for the score right now. Bookend number 9s from the 1st and 6th inning to go with a 21-3 total.
Did not expect this tonight, Jeff. Did not expect this tonight. But a very impressive victory or run total by the Bay City Western Warriors. Trying to figure out what's going on with the umpire out there. Not quite sure what he was doing. They were talking about somebody didn't tag up, maybe.
I wasn't seeing. He's probably dizzy from watching all those players go around the bases. And there's another one behind the plate. No sense.
Yep.
Trying to run home. Be safe. The runner from first advances to second base. Batter up is Carson Cooley, number 6.
Well, the wind has died down just a little bit, Jeff, looking out at the trees. Not blowing quite as hard. Straight up. Garrett Glish is going to get a little action from the pitcher's mound.
And he says, hey, I'm a
take
shortstop.
I can handle it.
I can take this when Jacek was in there just to cheer him on, saying, hey, you know, you got a freshman backing you up here to make sure everything is good. Glish gobbles it up for the second out of the top of the 6th inning. As Western was still runners on second and third. Nice pitch. And that is Andrew Snover, who's up again for the second time this inning.
Andrew's had a lot of at-bats tonight here in game number 2.
He's had 4 at-bats in 2 innings. He serves one up to left field and trying to come in to catch the ball and just being able to catch it on the first hop. Play to the plate, and that ball is a little bit wide. So Snover will get a credit for a single and go to second on the throw home. And they have now put an 11 spot up on the board here in this 6th inning. Boy, they just keep hitting.
Yeah.
You know,
it's incredible how well they're hitting the ball tonight. All over the place. Andrew did a nice job fighting that one off, taking it to left field.
And again, going opposite field with it, you know, just being patient and taking what's given and serving it up. There's a lazy fly ball, and this one looks like it's going to be caught by the center fielder. Nice catch. There we have it. At the end of 5.5, it's 23-3. Western 3 outs from claiming this victory in 6 innings. And we'll come back in just a second for the 7th inning for the bottom of the 6th here on BCTV.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV sports and your number 1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs.
Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning.
New school music right there.
Ah, yes. No school I've been to. Well, Natalie and Abby Newsham are very familiar with it, but here we go for the bottom of the 6th inning. The batter for Bay City Central is Mason Fetter Schumacher, and the new pitcher is Alex Snyder for Western.
Well, interchangeable parts on these high school baseball teams.
1 ball and 1 strike as Snyder finds the strike zone with the second pitch. And again, a chance to give some kids opportunities to play a few different positions. You don't know down the stretch how things are going to go. But with that ball game that went on with Mount Pleasant losing to Heritage, it now creates a three-way tie between Midland, Heritage, and Western for the lead. And it could end up with a three-way tie here for the Valley Championship this
A lot
year.
of familiar names, Jeff, in baseball in the Saginaw Valley with those three squads, Western, Midland, and Heritage. All three of them have been consistently very, very good throughout the years in the Saginaw Valley.
And you know the thing that really intrigues me about this is that ball is served right up the middle by Schumacher for a base hit. Is when you have schools like John Glenn that are coming into the Valley, you say, we're not big enough to compete. Well, tell that to Mount Pleasant, as they're one of the truly small schools in the Valley. They compete very well in football. They compete very well in basketball. They compete very well in baseball. So you can't say that the size of your school has everything to do with your success.
Well, that Mount Pleasant competes well in everything, Jeff. They got a great facility over there. They play very hard. They do a great job. They're all very well coached. So, and you're right. John Glenn is going to be welcomed into this Saginaw Valley League. I think they're going to compete. They're going to be playing very, very well in all sports, on the boys' side and on the girls' side. I think this is a great addition to the Saginaw Valley League.
Swing and a miss from Bay City Central's number 19, Seth Chesla.
You think about what John Glenn's going to bring to the Central Western. John Glenn, you're opening up a whole new rivalry between those three schools.
Strike three as Snyder does a nice job of disposing of Chesla. And that will bring Birdsall to the plate with one on and one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Glad to have you along on our third baseball game of the year here on BCTV. It's been a pleasure to bring them to you as, again, we talk about the gambit of sports. We're trying to hit them all, and by next year, through the fall, winter, and spring season, we will hit them all.
Oh, man, it's going to be a busy 17-18 school year next year, Jeff. But looking forward to it.
Busy in a beautiful way. Birdsall a little bit tardy on that off-speed offering. It stays in the facility, though, which is nice, so people don't have to get it.
Go around the big fence.
To go around the big fence, that's quite the jog.
Got to go over by the fire station to get that one if it goes on the other side by the railroad tracks.
No balls and two strikes, just a little bit outside. As I just saw station number 3 fire truck just cruise by. As they take those rigs out at least a few times a week for dry runs to make sure they fire up and run good when they need them.
They're going by my Ponderosa all the time.
There's another foul ball. That one's going to make it over the fence. Somebody's got a long run for that one.
Send the kid.
They better turn that into a free bag of corn. Still 1 ball, 2 strike count. Right on the outside corner, Birdsall stood there hoping that it was just outside, but a perfectly placed pitch. And we have got 2 up and 2 down with a runner on first base. Not 2 up and 2 down, but 2 down as the ball game right now is in the hands of Garrett Glish. Can he extend this game for Bay City Central? Glish with a little chopper up the middle. Unassisted play by Cooley. And that's all there is.
There isn't anymore.
The final score in our ball game, Western with a 23-3 victory over Bay City Central. A very commanding fashion to put their mark on the game. We're going to keep it right here, and we're going to put the wraps on this ball game. First and sixth inning, Mike. 9 runs in that first, double digits with 11 in the sixth inning. Those are the bookmarks for the rest of the ball game where Central competed through the middle 4 innings.
Yeah, it was very good in those middle 4, like you said, Jeff. But, man, in the first and in the sixth inning, they put 20 runs up in those innings alone. So Western Warriors did a nice job. They hit the ball all over the field. They had good, solid fielding, good, solid pitching, and just a lot different game than game number 1 that Western won that game 1-0.
Yeah, you saw night and day difference as Mansek and Freed really matched up in a great pitcher's duel in that first game. And then the second game, then the bats came out for Western. But when you can bat around in the first and in the sixth inning, you know offensively your club is hitting on all cylinders.
Well, what they did, Jeff, the Warriors did, they took the Central pitchers to long counts, 3-2 counts. They made them pitch the ball, and they were very patient at the plate. And then they went with the pitches. If it was outside and you're a right-hand batter, they took it to right field. We saw Andrew Snover, who's a left-hand batter, take it to left field. So patience and spreading the ball around by the Western Warriors were the key to game number 2.
And early in that ball game, Coach Garcia decided to pull his infield in, hoping to get a ball or two hit right at those people. Western found some holes, and, once they got that merry-go-round going in the first inning, that really made it tough for Central. But Central came back with a couple in the first, tried to eat away at that lead, but it was just way too much Western offense in the second game.
Well, Jeff, and it happens. Sometimes games like this, it doesn't matter if you're out on the football field, the softball field, or on the court. Games like this are going to happen to you. How you handle them the next day in the next game is key. And, they've got districts coming up and pre-districts coming up. So, I like this Central team. They're 14-18, 14-19. And they got some young kids playing some key positions here for the Wolves. So nothing to hang your dauber about. Forget about this one. It's the old 12-hour rule. You got 12 hours to think about this. And when you get 12 hours and the 12 hours and 1 minute come, you forget about it. You think about the next game.
Well, and what you've got for tonight, though, is with this sweep of the doubleheader by Western, that puts them in a 3-way tie for first place in the Saginaw Valley League. And I believe that's the first time this year that Western has worked themselves back into that position this baseball season.
And that's a nice thing for Coach McDonald, Jeff. Like you mentioned earlier, they didn't start out very well here in that cold, rainy type of spring when we started baseball. They worked their way up, and now they're 25-6. 24-6 come after this win. So nice job by Coach McDonald. A couple of key players for Western, Jeff. Andrew Snover, the junior, he had 5 RBIs. Cody Free, 2 RBIs and a stolen base. And number 18, Alex Snyder, in game 2, 2 RBIs and went 3 for 3 at the plate. For Central, Hayden Yachek, number 4, had 2 RBIs for the Bay City Central Wolves.
The freshman.
And a freshman. So you gotta look at that Central team. Young, quality kids getting some good playing time up at the varsity level.
Well, again,
in a tough league, too.
Yes.
That Saginaw Valley is good baseball.
This Saginaw Valley League, the top 6 or 7 teams in the Saginaw Valley League can play with anybody in the state.
Yep.
Mike, that leads me to one of my final points. When you look at between Bay City and Midland, the winner that comes out of that district could easily, in many other parts of the state, make it through the regionals into the quarterfinals. But they have to beat on each other all year long. Then they've got to beat on each other to just survive the districts so you can go on. It's almost a relief to get into the regionals after you play the competition you do in the districts.
Well, and you think of some of these districts, you got Western and Bay City Central. You've got probably the 2 Midland schools in those districts. So, and that happens anytime you're in the state playoff in the Saginaw Valley when you're playing basketball, girls and boys. You got the Midland schools, you've got the 2 Bay City schools. Now you're going to possibly
throw in Mount Pleasant there or Heritage.
And Heritage are all in there. It's it is very difficult, and you make a great point. You beat on each other all year long during the football season. You're playing those quality teams, and you're ready and willing to go when it comes playoff time.
Well, pre-districts here next week right at Bay City Central. Western and Central will become combatants again. I would say pretty safe to say Western sent a message today.
Well, it was a very good message, too, Jeff. Western feels very good about the way they played today. Central doesn't feel very good about game number 2, but they did some good things in game number 1. I like the Glish kid. I thought he played shortstop very well. Malthrop kid's great behind the plate, so they've got some talent. Let's put this one behind you. 12 hours from now, we forget about it. We look down the road, get ready for the next game.
Well, next game will be our final game of the spring, and it will come to us in a girls' softball fashion from Garber. I believe they're playing Pinconning.
Yes, they are.
So that will be a great battle, and we'll look forward to that. And then a very, very short break, and we're going to have to put things together for the fall, winter, and spring, where we're planning right now on doing 50 broadcasts this fall, winter, and spring. And we are striving to hit every single sport to give them some of the attention that they deserve for the work that they put in.
We are going to start looking at the 17, 18. It's hard to believe that we're talking 17, 18 school year already, Jeff, but we're going to look at those schedules. We have a couple already that we're looking at. We're going to have a great fall, a great winter, and a tremendous spring. And, like you say, this is going to be a point of destination for our local community to get out there. And if you can't see some of these kids play, you're going to have that opportunity to see them on BCTV and on YouTube also.
Well, that about puts the wraps on tonight's game. Always a pleasure to sit next to your partner, and you do a tremendous job as always. Natalie Doan went through 2 notepads and 3 pens, but she's so confident in her efforts, she doesn't need a pencil. Produce, direct, and camera work tonight. Nick Page, extraordinaire. Fine job, sir, as
Great
always,
job.
in the way that you make this program click. We're very appreciative of your efforts. Final score tonight, reminder, 23-3. We'll look forward to talking to you Thursday from Garba with a little girls softball. Have a great day, all.
We'll see you again, folks.